Hey guys, what's up? True Prophet here, and today we're going to talk about the new changes coming in Act 3 and some of the leaks that we've seen today about the new agent Skye. First off, Riot has announced that they are actually pushing up the new map Icebox from the end of Act 3 to the beginning of Act 3. That's pretty huge because the community has actually wanted this for a really long time. People are kind of feeling that the maps are getting stale. People don't like some of the maps like Split, and it's actually started to really put people off from constantly playing. Hopefully adding a new map to the game is going to be able to spice that up. They've added a couple new things. I've seen somewhere that one of the Riot devs added that it's pushing the limits of verticality in the game. I'm assuming that means that there's going to be a lot of high zones like Heaven, but like further up maybe. Not really sure what that means. And the community has also found zip lines in the video. So we're kind of thinking like Fortnite, Apex Legends, zipping around in zip lines kind of deal. That's going to be pretty crazy and a whole new level of movement that you're going to have to account for. Being able to like shoot from those is obviously going to be wildly inaccurate, but being able to like pick people off may be kind of easy if you're, a good enough shot. So whether or not these zip lines are going to be a good mode of transportation, I'm not really sure yet. I'm still pretty new to the game, so I can't really call it. So that's really all we really know about Icebox. It's set in Russia. It's like Frozen themed. There's not a ton of information on it just yet, just kind of. That's probably because they're like pushing it ahead. What we do have a lot of information for now, thanks to leaks and the announcement today, is actually the new agent coming in the game, Skye, who is on your screen right now. She is an Australian character, and she is like a huntress type. She is an initiator character as well. A lot of people were thinking, from what I saw on Twitter, that it was going to be another controller type character, but she's actually going to be an initiator like Breach. She has a couple of very interesting abilities, and some abilities are actually making some players feel pretty worried about the direction of the game. Not me personally. I don't necessarily see these going to be a big issue. But the main ability that people were like kind of iffy about that I've seen so far is Regrowth. It is another healing ability added to the game. And people are kind of iffy about that in a tactical shooter. So Regrowth is a 200 credit ability, and it is a big AoE heal. So she equips a charm, and when you hold the ability, she heals people that she has line of sight to and are in range. That's everybody as well. Like she can heal like 2 or 3 or 4 teammates as well. She cannot heal herself with this ability, but she can heal her whole team. When she equips the trinket, there is a pool of healing energy that she can then spend. So you hold the button and it heals everybody in that AoE. And you can actually put it away and pull it back out later. So as long as you have some of that healing energy left. So if it like goes away at half, you can pull it out and you still have half that pool of healing energy left, and you can like top people off later. So you don't have to spend it all in one go. It's 200 credits, so it's also, you have to pay for this healing ability. It's not like Sage, who gets it automatically in every like 45 seconds or something like that. And it's not like Reyna, who, you can buy more Reyna orbs, but she also generates these automatically. This is not generated automatically. She has to buy this, and it's 200 credits. Her next ability, which I thought was pretty cool, is one of the first things that I was super interested in about the character, is called Trailblazer. So when you do this, you equip a Tasmanian tiger, like trinket, and you send it out, and you actually take control of it. It's almost like a predator missile, like where you become the wolf for a bit, and you're like running through the map. You're nearsighted in this ability, so you can't actually see that far. But when you do see an enemy, if you can actually press the fire button, and the Tasmanian tiger leaps forward and explodes. If it hits the enemy, it'll do damage, and it also has a concussive blast area, which will actually mess them up. So this is great for an initiator character. It lets you check around corners. It's a great scouting tool. Even though it doesn't have long range, it's great for pushing around corners and letting your team know what's going on. If they're around the corners, you may be able to get a jump off and actually concuss them and allow your team to push forward from there. I don't necessarily... There's going to be a lot of maps where this isn't going to be as useful, where there's like long stretches where the enemy can just like shoot it down. But I do think that, in like some places like when you're pushing showers and hookah, things like that, where they're like kind of really tight, like little cubbies, I think this is going to be a great ability for like swerving around. Her signature ability is called Guiding Light. So this is actually going to be, in my opinion, her big utility. She gets a free charge each round, but you can also buy another charge for 100 credits. It is a flash, so it's going to be kind of like Breach, being able to shoot his flash through the wall. But this is actually kind of like a skill shot flash. What she does is she equips a hawk, and then she like sends the hawk out, and then you can actually curve the hawk, like guide it where it goes with your cursor. So you guide the hawk to where you need it to be, and then you recast the ability, and that's when the flash goes off. I assume these can also be shot down, which means you can't just like send it out forever. You're going to need to like pop it eventually. But this is going to allow you to flash around corners with Curveball, Phoenix's ability. And it's kind of going to be like Breach. So like it's going to be just like those two flashes, but it's pretty cheap. It's only 100 credits for a charge, and she gets free charges as well. That's going to be huge. Also, in the video shown by Riot, she can do things with this flash that other heroes, agents, she can do stuff with this ability that other agents can't as well. For example, in the video, she shoots the hawk through the grate, which you can't necessarily do with Breach. You'd have to shoot it through a wall, and you can't do it with Phoenix. You have to shoot it around a corner. She can also just shoot these out straight if she wants. Like, so there's a lot of variability that you can do with these flashes. You don't have to throw them out the same every single time. That's going to allow you to be super unpredictable, and it's going to be kind of a struggle for the enemy team to know exactly what's going to happen. Her last ability is her ultimate ability, which is called Seekers. I need to just put this out there. The Prophet does it again. I predicted this a couple days ago when the Tasmanian Tiger was shown. I assumed that she was going to have an ability that was going to be similar to the wolf orbs in Spike Rush. I don't know why. I just figured with a Huntress character and those wolf type things that they were going to kind of go hand in hand. Well, alas, her ultimate is literally that orb in Spike Rush. She equips 3 little Seekers, she shoots them out, and they track down the 3 closest enemies. If it reaches an enemy, it'll actually nearsight them, and I'm pretty sure that's it, actually. I'm not actually sure if it concusses them, but it does nearsight them. So I'm assuming it's going to make it feel kind of like Reyna's orb, Lear. It's probably going to do that similar type effect for that. These can be shot down, but it also just gives you that information of where they are. If you're guarding B and 2 of them try to go through B long and 1 goes up hookah, you're going to be getting more information about which enemies are closest and where you're going to need to have your crosshair trained. And you can give that information to your team as well. If they hit the enemies and nearsight them, that's an added bonus. So looking over all of her abilities, they've been pretty cheap. A 200 credit heal, 200 credit Seeker missile that does damage, not enough to kill from what we've seen in the video, but damage, and a concussive blast, and 100 credit flashes, which are, again, what I think are going to be the biggest. I don't think Skye is anything huge. There's nothing particularly mind-blowing here. Being able to become that Tasmanian Tiger is a really neat ability. It is going to, however, leave you kind of open for target. You're going to need to hide in some little cubby or corner when you cast this out. Otherwise, they can just pop around and kill you before you can actually do anything with the Tiger. It kind of feels almost like Junkrat's ult in Overwatch. When he shoots that Riptire, you make sure you're not in the middle of the map where someone can just kill you. Yeah, you'll be able to finish the Riptire cast, but you're dead, and so that's a much bigger thing. So it's going to be really cool to see a new initiator character in Valorant. Myself, I'm not super big on initiators. I've never really got into Sova and Breach. I've only kind of practiced around within the practice range. So it'll be interesting to see her played. She does seem more interesting than those other 2 to me. And I may pick her up to play her a little bit as that role. Because Breach and Sova haven't really grabbed me, maybe I'll try Ashe out. We'll see. Okay, so the final thing we're going to talk about in Act 3 are the new skins coming out. So the main one that we're going to talk about is the Singularity skin, which you can actually see here on the left side of your screen. It's these black and purple skins. So from what we've seen, they're not going to have any upgrades to them, so they're not going to have any VFX or finishers, but they may or may not have variants. I can't confirm that. I would imagine that these would. These look like this would be great for having a green, a blue, a red, But these will probably be cheaper than some of the skins we've seen so far because of the no VFX upgrade. So instead of the alien gun skins that we just had, these will probably be a little bit cheaper. We also are teased with some skins here on the right. These 3 seem to be from one set, this black, gold, and red. It's almost kind of dragon-y, not Elder Flame Dragon, where your gun is literally a dragon, but it does kind of look, I don't know, old. It's hard to explain, really. This Stinger skin here kind of looks like the Prime line. It definitely isn't. It has a different aesthetic, but it's similar colors. I'm not sure if there'll be VFX for any of these. We don't know any information besides the pictures of these skins. I definitely like this knife. I think this is very cool. I like this shorty. I have the Elder Flame Vandal, which I am in love with. I'm not sure if I will ever grab this, but these all look great, and I do also like this Spectre here. These are all really good looking skins. But that's all we have for today on Act 3. There we have some other leaks and information, but none I feel super comfortable speaking on. Again, I'm still pretty new to the game. This was my first review ever. So let me know how I did in the comments below. Please feel free to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, so I know if I want to do more of these in the future. Probably will no matter what. I just am obsessed with Valorant lately, so this was a lot of fun to actually do and research for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day, guys.